Proverbs by Yoruba. Sun has no cell. Here we discuss Proverbs. Yoruba Proverbs mainly. The proverb that I would like to share with you today. Ohun tó wù ní ló ń pọ̀ lọ́lá ẹni. What you love, what you like, features most in your possessions. If you love art, when people get to your house or your workstation or any premises that you use, when they get there, they see works of art on the walls, on the floor, everywhere, all around. That is telling the tale that you love art. If you love, as a man, if you love women, there will be women around you all of the time. As a lady, if you love men, you will always be following men. Some love cars, and so when you get to their compound, you see different fashion of cars. Some love clothes, fashion, show. So when you see them, the powder is ever fresh. I used to have a shop many years ago, and the woman in the next shop to me, I don't know, I still don't know how she managed to keep the powder fresh all of the time. You see her any time of the day, the powder is as she's just stepping out of her bedroom. She's just leaving. If any time of the day you see her, the powder is always fresh. So that is the way it is. But it doesn't just happen. It happens by you taking action. You can say you love money and lack money for all of your lifetime. Yes, I know surely, but you can say I love money. No, there are people who don't love money. That's given. But if you truly love money, you truly love financial freedom, financial independence, you may not be Darocha, you may not be Dangote, but one would expect that at some point we would also see that after all you don't have so much, but you are not begging. You will learn the art of keeping money tied down. If you love water, some people just love water. And many times in a day you see them drinking water, whereas some don't love water. They love beer. And so every evening after the day's job is done, they stop over at a pub and have some. So if you love anything in this world, as far as it is not against the law, you can have it after working hard for it. Jacob worked hard for the woman he loved, but the father said, no, that is what you love, but this is what I'm offering. He took that and he worked harder to get the woman that he loved. What you love features the most in your possessions, in the things that you have. And nobody will do the work for you. The work is for you to do, to acquire, to achieve, to obtain, to purchase what you love. because there is always a price to pay. You can't just say I love it because somebody has it. There's always a price to pay to have what you want. If you are not ready to pay the price, you won't have it. And how do we believe that you love it? We only believe that you love it when we see you with it. Because you have paid the price, you have done the work, you have gone for it, and now you have it. That is how we know that truly that thing that you have, you love it. Sometimes, and that is why you see your brother may be Darocha, your auntie may be as rich as Dangote or Alakija, but if they keep giving you money, the money, you just spend the money. Because what you want is material, is consumption. It's not to have money. You don't want to have money like your sister. So you won't want, there's no point paying the price that your sister paid. You don't want to have money like Dangote. You won't bother about paying the price that Dangote paid. You don't want to be self-reliant, self-sufficient like your school teacher or school principal uncle. So you won't burn the midnight oil to have a degree or a master's degree or a PhD so that you can be like them. But you just want them to give you fish, you eat fish, you go back. You eat fish, you go back. If you want to have what they have, the way we know that you love it truly is when we see you have it. And the way we see you have it is you going for it. But it is not just there for the giving. No, you pay the price. So I don't know what it is that you love. If it is a degree, I've seen people who have 7 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees. They finish a degree in English, they go for a degree in law, and they finish that, and they just all of a sudden feel that, what is the big deal in science? I want to have a degree in chemistry, and they go for it. And they come back and say, conflict resolution is the in thing now, and they want to have a degree in conflict resolution because they see some prospects in it for their retirement life ahead, and so they go for a degree in international law and conflict resolution. So we just say, what's the big deal in arbitration? I want to be a JP, I want to be a magistrate, and they just go for professional trainings over and over and over. And some do all of that, and they now suddenly wake up to realize that they are falling in love with business. After all, what's the big deal in being an entrepreneur? I want to be so they go for an MBA. So that is how we know that you love education, you love knowledge. You just keep going for it. And I'm not saying that the only place to acquire knowledge is within the 4 walls of a classroom. In fact, there are sages who have said that nothing that is worth learning can be learned within the 4 walls of a classroom. No. That's another dimension. But what we are saying is, even if it is not a Western education degree, but you just love knowledge, you can go and learn Ifa. Yes. Susan Wenger came all the way from Germany, I guess, to live all her life in Oshogo, just to know what the Oshun goddess is all about. So if you love anything in this world, the way we agree with you, we accept, we see, we know that you love it, is when we see it with you. We see you surrounded with or by that thing. You are surrounded by this thing that you claim to love. And how do you get surrounded by this thing that you claim to love? You go for it. When you go for it, it is not there for the taking. No. You pay the price. You will pay the price. So, if you are not married, you want a wife, you pay the price. That's how we know that you love marriage. You pay the price. You start a search for your ideal woman. When you see your ideal woman, even if she loves you, she will pretend not to love you. She will take some drama, definitely. But you insist, you persist, you keep going. Baba wani kojensi lobini ngoref. They will insult you, but you keep going. She may pour hot water or pepper on your head. You just keep saying, but I love you. She may say you are stupid, you are not answering. You just continue to maintain that point. I love you, baby. Over time, yes, you would win the crown, and when you get the trophy wife, we now see the trophy wife with you. That's how we know that truly, he loved that lady, and despite all the obstacles, he persisted until he's back here with this trophy wife. That is how we know that you love it. If you say you love education, it is not about, you love education, it's not knowledge. It is not about staging some intellectual masturbation. No, you go for it head on. You learn. When you learn, you come back. You know the things that you learned. Yes, everything in this life is to be learned before you know. Yes, learning is knowing. What you learn is what you know. Yeah. Sometimes, you see, there are people who say that they are self-trained. They are this, they are that. They are learning. See, there is a station beyond the physical that is always teaching, that is always broadcasting. In different religions, they call it different names. They say the Holy Spirit, they say it is Allah, they say, but there are people who won't tune in. They don't even tune in to that divine station to get the leading, and some they have the broadcast, they have the connection in their heart, but they disagree, they fight it. Your spirit is telling you, you sleep in your dream and you see that one powder added to orange juice will cure something. You wake up, you just say, but that's a dream. You don't try to experiment it. So nobody is self-trained. What I want to say here is kikoni mimo. So if what you say you love is knowledge, you go for knowledge. Either there's a teacher teaching you outwardly or inwardly, wherever the ministration, the inspiration is coming from, you are calm. Those who serve God truly serve God in spirit and in truth. And when you are there, God is ever there to teach you and teach you and teach you. That is how we know that you know knowledge, because you've learned. You know, you love knowledge, you learn. You keep learning. You learn from everything, you learn from every situation. You love business, yes. If you love business, you won't be afraid to start a venture with 1,000 naira. Those who love business, truly, they are not intimidated by the stringent conditions placed on loan borrowing by the bank. They try and try. Some get lucky, they get the loan eventually, but maybe a small amount to start with. They make sure they perform well in servicing the loan, and when they return, the bank that gave you 10,000 naira turn around to give you 50,000 naira because you did so well, and you continue to grow. That is how we know you love business. You don't say, "Oh, I love business because I don't have money." No. The generations of my father didn't have money, but they just plunged in. They gave it what it took. And it's sad that the generation of people who didn't inherit anything worked so hard to acquire so much, and the generation of their children are fighting. They never stopped, sit back to say, but where did this Baba or this Mama inherit? Who did he inherit all of this from? That's what I'm saying. If you love driving, you go to a driving school. If you don't want to go to a driving school, get a friend to teach you. You can't say you love something without making an attempt to acquire or attain or achieve that thing. And see, the latter part of the proverb, the other part of the proverb, the concluding part of the proverb is actually Ologun Eruku Asho Eje Kan Shosho. A man, one of the most expensive things to have in this world is slaves. Having slaves, human beings like you to serve you, because they have the brain that you have. They can run away. They can, a lot of possibilities that make it so difficult for the slave owner to keep being the slave owner. It's so difficult to have slaves. It's expensive. It's difficult. It's But this is a man. At death, his slaves are counted, and you count 20. But when you are talking of his clothes, only one. He had just an outfit, but he was able to keep 20 slaves. Anything you love, you go for it. The way we know that what you are saying is true, that you love it, is by going for it, is by us seeing it with you eventually, not all of a sudden. It is by us seeing that thing that you say you love with you eventually. After rigorous effort and realistic patience, we see it with you. And because we know that it wasn't all of a sudden, we've been part of the story. We saw you when you didn't have a slave. And we saw how one slave became 2 slaves and 3 slaves. And so nobody would say, no, not that he loved it or not that he worked for it, he just hijacked it. No, We knew how it added up. From 1 to 1.1 to from 1 to 1.0009. We knew all of that. So we now say, truly he loved this thing. He paid the price. He worked so hard. Oh, if you see what he went through before he could get to this stage, before you say your story, the people around will say it. They will say it, so people want to despise your achievements. This guy, no. We know where he's coming from. So the message I want to leave with you this morning is, anything that you love, you go for it. How do you go for it? You work for it. You pay the price. The price may be burning the midnight oil. The price may be persistence. The price may be endurance. The price may be deprivation. You deprive yourself of other indulgences. But you pay the price and stay on. You stay on. And eventually when we see with you, we say, truly, no Tony, truly what a person loves features the most in their possessions. That's it for now. I know that a few people came by, some left. I know that there are 2 people here left, but Facebook is not showing me your names. Thank you so much for joining. I see this, I consider this as the encouragement that I need to continue the Proverbs project. May I also remind you that there is a counsel for every situation in life, every situation of life in our Proverbs. You need to explore them, tap the gems in them, use them in your life, and it will be to your own advantage. Thank you so much. I'll see you again and very soon. Bye for now.